Hi everybody, I've got some journals to share with y'all today, and this is a fabric journal, and it measures 9 by 4 3/4, and it's got a coffee stained tablecloth. I made it out of a coffee stained tablecloth, and I put some lace and some seam binding and some roses, and this is part of an old book. You know, I have to go get it. Is that it? That's it. Scope this out, y'all. I got this in an estate sale. Excuse me. Look at this. Look how old that is. Even the edges are done. That tells you that it's a very, very old book. And it's written in French. And all the pages are just natural. Isn't that gorgeous? Loving this. So this is what I used. And for this part here, and then I put a piece of music fabric here with a real pretty image. And there's the spine. And I used a sari silk closure here, and I stitched it. And I'm going to put this ruler here so I can try and stay in frame. And let's go inside. Did some tabs in this one, all kinds of different goodies. It's stitched with pink stitching. And over here I've got a bow that I made out of seam binding, and that's part of a tablecloth that I stitched around. And on the inside we have a big journaling card made out of a book page. And let's see what this is. South Louisiana okra casserole, Jimmy Dean sausage. Well, there's the onions, the celery, and the bell pepper. That's the Trinity. We call it the Trinity here in the South. Garlic. Got some good stuff in here. I bet that's really good. I'm going to hold it there for a minute so I can copy down the recipe. And there's the back. I stitched around it so that, you know, it just adds a little something. Over here I added seam binding, and this is part of a little napkin, and I stitched around it and added some flowers. And a pretty place to journal. I just love these kind of books because I need the space to write things. And this size book fits in my purse, and it serves a really good purpose. Over here we have a little teapot with some roses and a bright pink pocket with part of a doily here, little image. And I put some coffee dyed papers in there. But these things will hold more. I mean, when I take these out, I put things that I need to keep till I get home. And, you know, these pockets are deep. So they serve a really good function when you're out. A pretty image. Look at those hoops. It's got different kinds of papers in it. I just stitched around the images. Old ad. Lots of ephemera. I hope I'm getting this in there. Let me double check. Yeah, I think so. This is a computer page that I added a place to write and stitched around it a bunch of times. And you could add something here. Some more stitching. A piece of ephemera with a vintage lady. This is part of a poetry page. And I just let the stitching show through on the other side. Here's a really nice deep pocket. And isn't that gorgeous fabric? I just love this fabric. And it's got a stamped image and some seam binding and different fabrics there. And then I added, look at that. Isn't that lovely? Don't know how it happens, but I wish I could do it more of it. And that just fits right in there. Again, seam binding. It's been coffee stained. That's the stitching from the other side. And if these threads drive you crazy, just cut them off. I happen to like them. A pretty image. Vintage lady here. Stitching from the other side. That's got some seam binding, part of a doily and the matching flower. Piece of graph paper that I just stitched around this image. A pretty vintage image there. Yeah, hello Sammy. And I just stitched here, let that come on over. A little stitching down here. This is a really great book for recording and writing, and it still has all the little goodies all throughout. Love that. Look at that coffee staining. And that's the stitching from the other side. Seam binding. Little postcard. Been stitched around. Some more seam binding. I use that throughout the book, so it would, when you use one thing throughout a book, it just helps tie it all together. Look, a vintage ad that's from that 1950s book that I got in an estate sale. More poetry here. Poetry page, I should say, with a vintage advertisement for bicycles and tricycles. Two vintage ladies. And here's the other part of that computer page. This is just, it's a loaded book. It's got a lot of pages in it and a lot of things. And still plenty of room for journaling. A postcard image with some birdies. This cracks me up. Really does. Here's another pocket with a pretty image and a rose, part of a doily, and some of that lovely fabric that I just love to use, with a vintage ticket in the background. Coffee dyed papers. And some blank pages, just coffee dyed blank pages. Little swan here with the seam binding. And this is the back, matching pocket like in the front, with a nice image and a bow. And it's got some coffee dyed papers and a little bigger notebook. It's got all different kinds of papers in it. Don't need the string. All that's been the fabric's been coffee dyed. I need to brush off my table. And there's the back. It's really nice and padded and smushy. You have to forgive my fingers. I've been stamping, so I got ink on my hands. Dried ink. I'm not going to get them on my journals, you know. And there's the front again. I want to thank y'all so much for being here with me today, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.